Hold on, I'll tell a story once it goes live.
Oh.
Hi, everybody. That's just Vocal Fry. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Wherever you are, thank you for being here. We are hopping over onto Patreon to link it.
Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
I have seen like probably 15 episodes of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing through.
There's this part where Robin gets a new job at like a better workplace because like the one that she was at, she was covering like dog stories, whatever.
Oh yeah, she's a journalist.
So she was going in for the first like test run shoot, and they were like, "Well, Robin, you must have like an amazing ending for all of your whatevers."
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And she didn't. She just said like,
nope.
Thank you and good night, whatever city. And so during the taping, she says that, and then everyone just kind of like expectantly looks at her, and so she goes off on like this whole speech,
and then she has to do it every single time. It's the worst thing I've ever heard of.
So funny.
Imagine. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm doing this now. Don't worry. Use YouTube Live.
Did the other ones, everything stayed on, right? I never even went back and checked if like people had watched or if it was still even
who knows
on. Like, I don't know if YouTube like deletes the video after 24 hours or something silly like that.
I have not checked. I
haven't checked either.
Fine.
Look how cute we are.
Gotta put a new post on
Listen,
here.
I look fine. I took a really long crying bath last night. And so, you know, the next day you look great because your face is a little bit puffy, which is like a nice little, looks younger. I just didn't feel good. And I'm sick of not feeling good. You know what I mean?
I get you. Okay. And this is for...
Remember Twilight?
These guys.
From 2005.
And I would like to publish it now. Thank you very much.
All right. There we are.
I have to go turn on everything else.
Okay, Emily's going to go turn on everything else. Whoa. That was some crazy, like, whirvy. No, we've got a big rectangle of light on this picture again. I don't know. Nobody's here yet.
This is doing that same weird thing I did last time.
What did it do?
It just picks up like random family noises.
It's our ghost. It's ghosts. I wonder if people are watching on Patreon. They're going to get that notification. And they're going to start watching. I'm going to check and see.
Can you talk into your microphone?
I'll unzip the zip. That'll make a sound. How'd that go?
I did something. I think it's good. You want me to try and move this?
Holy
crap.
crap.
Remember how we did it last happening here?
It's a little better. Now it's just up to like very top. But I don't know if there's anything we can do to... Whoa. No, it's better. It's like, it's white at the very, like, it covers up fork. So it just says high school. What and why? Is it this? Like, what? It has this problem. Is it this? Why? My microphone has never done this before. Oh, okay. There we go. This is the content you're paying for. Trying to make it good. I was telling a story right before we got on, and then there was nothing. I didn't hit myself in the face.
It's fine.
And then I was going to continue, with my story. As
Hi,
soon as we
Rosie.
post-
Hi, Ross.
Good morning, good night, good hello,
Good
everybody. Oh, Ross is very
Hi,
supportive.
Victoria.
Hi, everybody. I can't remember the story I was going to tell everybody. So if
I can't remember
it
either.
later, I'll tell you.
Okay, I do need to say something
Hello.
in the chat.
My voice in my left ear is really sounding crisp. Please write down. Oh, yeah. Emily's smart. All right. So you guys get to choose the title of this episode. If we say anything interesting, look at the.
That's because I'm wiggling.
I don't know what it looks like to you guys, but to me, it's like we are right in the wave of something.
Can I pin a comment?
And
Heck yeah.
all
Okay.
right,
We're underwater.
that's what it looked like to me. We'll try not to touch that table because woo. Oh shoot! Oh yeah,
Is it you or?
it's you
Okay.
because it's an odd number.
I already opened that.
I want to know. You already opened it.
Yeah, you can. We just need to also reopen it so we can say
Should I
thank you
wait?
on Instagram.
I don't like.
It's not from anybody. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Oh,
For the
cute.
pins from the festival
Oh.
got canceled.
Worth the wait. I don't like it. I don't like anything. I just am too triggered. I don't like anything from 2020 that tries to be cute.
Yeah.
It's too much for me.
Oh, I have to unzip mine.
Okay, I'm ready. That makes a really good sound in my ear. Oh my gosh, I just remembered chapter 17 is so long.
We're going to be recording Midnight Sun for the first 4 hours today. I'm not even kidding.
Chapter 17 is 40 pages long.
Mm-hmm.
16 is only like 20.
Yeah.
But
But,
long.
but man.
But man. Hello, hello,
Hi.
hello. Okay, we're good. Good sounds. Good. I think I have shingles again, everybody.
Rosie's prepped for recording day.
This is Rosie's Sunday evening activity.
Yeah.
She's just with us. You gotta, because here's the thing, Rose. You are with us for this 2 episodes of Remember Twilight, 2 episodes of Remember Harry Potter, and then live on Remember Twilight, live on Remember Harry Potter. So we are with you until 4 a.m, I think.
Pretty much. Okay. Lion read.
Woo.
Somewhere in this area, maybe?
She only got 3 hours of sleep last night.
Oh no. I will
Bless
pray
you
for
guys.
you.
Thanks, Ross. We do need blessings.
Okay, so I put that one. But was there a better one later? Okay, see this one.
It's been 2 weeks since I read this, but man, I wrote some funny
I know.
things.
Hopefully I'll remember it. Okay, do I want to talk about poor Bella? Edward's observations of how crappy Renee is, or
Oh. Hmm.
I'm gonna go
Are you going to do that one?
this guy.
Okay.
Let me read through it and make sure.
Is it solid?
What if we cry today?
Oh, I will.
Definitely will.
I think I got shingles because I've done nothing but cry for 2 weeks. And like,
no.
I'm not talking about cry. I've been sobbing daily for 2 weeks. It's not even like whatever. And so I started feeling really, really sick last night. Sorry, I'm just telling a story for these guys. I started feeling sick and I just went and laid down. Mark was gone. He came home and he was like, Ari said you weren't feeling good. And I was like, I'm really not feeling good and I don't know what's wrong, but like my skin hurts and I can't figure it out. And I just feel like really, really crappy and my spine hurts and da 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 da. And so he like gave me some ibuprofen. I took a really long bath. I felt terrible. I went to bed. And then this morning I was like, oh, I have shingles again. Like, I guarantee that that's what this is. It's every single exact same. This is the third time I've had shingles. Why was I telling this one? Anyway.
You've been crying.
Oh, yeah. And so this morning he's like, have you been feeling really stressed out lately? And I was like, yes. And then he goes, could you please not look at me like I'm an idiot? And I was like, all I've been doing for the past 2 weeks is sobbing and telling you how stressed out I am. And he's like, I'm sorry. I just didn't realize it was like more than usual. I was like, yeah, it's more than usual. Thank you for paying attention. Sorry.
I kept my face very smooth. This inside of hers, which I didn't doubt, she'd always seen through me so easily, put a darker spin on my interpretation of her past. Was Bella's need to be a caretaker based not on her mother's
I thought you were going to say Hufflepuff.
I think I tried
her mother's Hufflepuff.
Was Bella's need to be a caretaker based not on her mother's helplessness, but on a feeling of needing to earn her place? It made me angry to think that Bella might ever have felt unwanted, or that she needed to prove her worth. I had the oddest desire to wait on her hand and foot in some socially acceptable way, to show Bella that her merely existing was more than enough.
Oh, no, Edward. Hold on, I have to send this text to my mom. She's super worried about me because I told her I wasn't feeling good last night.
Just send this text
to my mom.
Why does this even start? Here we go. Page 329, everybody.
Hey, but we still have to do our Patreon read, so hold on just a sec. I'm feeling crappy, but I think it's shingles again. I'll call you when I'm done. Send. Okay.
Okay.
I meant to say. All right. Oh, okay. Well, I also wanted to talk to you about this.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to do a shout out for everybody who upgraded / signed up for our highest tier and just have it be this one time since it was like a brand new thing and a ton of people upgraded? Or do we not want to do that? Do we not care? I mean, not that we don't care. We care. Trust me. I just didn't know if we wanted to shout them out for upgrading.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then I think we should do the shout out for all the upgrades and that small group on this one. And then we can do the other big group on the next one. Okay. So what I did was everybody who upgraded got a star.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do everybody who has a star, and it's on several pages, and then this is the small group that didn't get it yet. Okay. Emily.
Marin.
You know that very exciting things have been happening in our Patreon lately.
Yes, I do.
One of them is that we started a new tier. It's the Remember Podcast tier. It's our highest tier, and it's really our funnest tier, where we like interact the most and we have the most fun with these guys. And so just this time only, I want to give a shout out to everybody who, like, in the past week or so upgraded or joined that tier, just because it's a brand new thing and I feel like they a little bit of recognition. It's super exciting. So I wanted to just say thank you to Alicia from Utah,
Ross. Hey.
Samantha,
Zoe.
Vanessa,
Jerica.
Joshua,
Taylor.
Victoria,
Caitlin.
Marion,
Brittany.
Crystal,
Cherish.
Heather,
Riley.
Melissa,
Emily B.
Sunny,
Sunshine.
Katie,
Joelle.
Emily O. Hold on, you have to cut this little section out, but I
will.
think that this person is that person.
I see.
That's why it makes me laugh. Okay, go ahead.
Kane.
Cami,
Rosie.
Lindsay,
Heather. Jennifer.
oh, yes, yes, sorry, go ahead. Say that again.
Jennifer.
Yessie,
Denise.
and Silas. All of those people signed up on the Remember podcast just recently. It's very exciting. We're happy to have you guys. And then we also have a group that we wanted to give a shout out to just for signing up in general. We have Darren from Massachusetts,
Joelle from Minnesota.
Evelyn from California,
George from Florida.
and Elizabeth. Sorry, hold on. I was really more organized than this in my mind. Oh yeah, Elizabeth from California. Thank you so much, you guys, for signing up for our Patreon.
We love you.
Thank you so much. That was crazy and wild.
It's crazy and wild.
It was. Let me get back.
That's
to
so
where I
many
need to be.
names.
I know so many names. I do think that person is that person. I don't care if they give us money. They can give us money.
Oh man.
They're not stalking me anymore. Any updates?
So this is next week's episode, which means hopefully you know. Everybody, I have some very exciting news to share with you all. If you're on our Patreon or Instagram, you've probably seen this already, but we have just released pre-sale for our custom-made book sleeves for the original Twilight, or Quill, as they call it.
I did not know they called it that.
They don't. I just don't know what the word is
Oh.
for it. They were hand watercolored.
Should we be doing this
No,
professionally?
we honestly, I just wanted to lay down. They were hand watercolored by a friend of the pod, Erin, who does all of our character designs. Friend fact. I don't know why I'm trying to do this. I never thought about it before.
Let's not do it then.
Well, I want to end this episode,
okay.
though. The front and back colors. Oh my
Do you need
gosh.
some more of that oil?
I think that might be the problem.
Oh. What do you want
Oh,
to
no.
say? Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, if I was trying to assassinate baby kid.
Oh, go let her in. I think she'll calm down.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to tell me what you want to say?
Well, I'm
and I
just
can
trying to
say it?
describe them by saying that the front and the backs have different scenes from the books in them, but I can't
That was good. Just
say it.
edit that in.
There are, oh my gosh, there are 8 total. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, there's 8 total scenes.
Yeah.
2 for each book. There's
Mhm.
4 books.
I think the 4 quill is what really threw me off. You
4 quill.
Okay, I'm gonna just restart. Thanks, everybody.
You guys
I'm
are
okay.
very supportive. Thank you.
You didn't realize that this happens during recordings. I have some super exciting news about something we just posted as pre-sale on our Etsy page, which are the custom watercolored book sleeves for Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. All of them have an original watercolor for the front cover and the back cover. They're very beautiful. The first 50 people who buy get what are those called?
A discount?
No.
A 4 quill?
A 4 quill. The first 50 people who purchase get their very own limited edition set of
I don't know the word you're trying to
bookmark.
say. Oh, bookmark. Is that a 4 quill?
No.
What?
Thanks, Victoria. Bookmark. The first 50 people who purchase get their own set of bookmarks. So if you're interested, please go to etsy.com/therememberpodcast. Look at them. They're gorgeous. You'll definitely want a set. And hopefully we can get them as close to Christmas as possible. Hopefully we can get them shipped as close to Christmas as possible. Crushed it.
Solid.
Wow.
Good update, Emily. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm here. I'll be. Okay. Can I do this? Hopefully.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
My name is Marin.
My name is Emily.
And we are Remember Twilight. And on this exciting episode of Remember Twilight, we are remembering chapter 16 of Midnight Sun,
The Knot.
Let's talk about what happened last week.
What literally did?
No idea.
Let's look.
Okay. It's been many weeks.
Oh, I know.
Since
I simply edited this yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Edward and Alice go on a field trip after lunch because Alice was like, "You're going to kill Bella if you go on this date, but you still have to go on this date." And Edward's like, "Okay, that makes me feel better." And then he remembers the time when Carlisle got him a Christmas tree.
Oh my gosh, that was really sweet. And he met Siobhan and Siobhan's little friend Maggie. Cool. Awesome.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So are they back from their... Yeah. So then he went back home and he chose out his sleeveless button down.
He chose to wear it unbuttoned under his sweater. I thought that was a great look.
I disagree. And then also the further along and the more ready he gets for his date, the lower his chances of killing her become. Okay, cool, good.
Correct. So he was just sitting in Bella's room and realized that it'll be fine because it's Bella. He's not going to kill Bella.
No way. That's wild. He would never.
No way. So Edward's sitting in Bella's room watching her sleep, and he's like, she's never slept this good in her whole life, or at least the parts that I saw her sleeping. She is just relaxed, a deep breathe, a smooth forehead. You know, all those signs of a good dream, I guess.
It's interesting because he's talking about how soundly she is sleeping. And he's like, man, it seems like a really long time now, but from the first moment I'd like caught her scent, my whole mind has been like just going crazy. Like it's been going from one extreme to the other extreme and da 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 da. And tonight was like worse than usual. And he's like, the burden of hazard immediately has pushed me to a peak of mental stress beyond anything I'd known in 100 years. Like, Edward, this is really some good like self-awareness.
Yeah.
Really strong. He's making progress. He's like, well, I'm glad she's real calm because he's completely losing it. Poor guy.
Poor guy. He's like, she must not realize that I could literally kill her tomorrow. Otherwise, she wouldn't be sleeping so well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
She still doesn't believe me.
No.
Charlie comes in to look at Bella, and she still doesn't move. And Edward, instead of leaving, he just sits very still.
He's so cute. Oh, he's so cute. Where's Charlie? Like, what is Charlie just like? It's like a peek.
I think
all right,
so.
she's asleep. Because he's pure white, just like sitting on the floor. Her room is small. What is happening? He's like arms around legs, sitting on the floor. I don't understand how Charlie could not see him.
He's just in the corner.
Charlie
He puts his arm out like he's a coat rack.
Charlie is the chief of police. He should be more aware of what's going on in his house. I don't know, just a thought.
Edward, he's too sneaky. He's a cat.
That's true. That's true.
Just in that corner.
True.
With his eyeballs glowing. So Charlie's up. He is getting ready for his fishing day, banging his fishing stuff around, which doesn't wake Bella up. But Edward suspects that Charlie might be being loud on purpose to get Bella to wake up.
Because he feels bad about leaving her for the day?
Yeah. But he gets all his stuff together, he leaves, and so Edward's like, okay, I guess I have to go too. So he, of course, breathes her in real deep.
See, he loves pain.
He does.
Loves it.
And he's going to hold on to that breath until he sees her next. Bella wakes up. She is also a bang of everything in the house. He sees her look out her curtains a couple times. And Edward just wants to go and knock on the door, but he's like, no, I'll let her do her thing. It's fine. She can get as ready as she feels like she needs to get ready. And he's wishing that he could be excited about the day, but he is not. He, in fact, wishes that he could just run to the other side of the earth. That would just make everything easier.
It really would, though. I mean, like, if he leaves now, it's like I've said before. I've said this for the past couple of chapters. If he leaves now, it's not going to be as devastating to Bella as it is after they commit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make things better, but he can't.
Because he'll just come back and kill her later.
He just cannot. Poor guy.
He thinks about this so much that he's, like, angry.
Like, he goes, I'd worked myself into a fine, dark mood by the time I dropped from the shadows of the tree and crossed her front lawn. This is my favorite pastime, is working myself into a really bad mood.
I'm so good at it.
I love it.
I wake up and I'm just like, let's do this.
Yep.
He walks up to her, whatever. He knocks on the door, and he's so mad that he's like, I don't even remember how to pretend smile.
He's like, how do I get, just rubbing his face,
Hi,
trying
Bella.
to chisel a smile.
Bella comes stumbling down to the door when he knocks and struggles to open it. And when she does, she opens it so hard it smacks into the wall. But she just looks at him and she's good to go. Edward's back.
Yay.
And Edward's like, oh, I guess I'm happy to see her too. And then he breathes her again.
Well, yeah, he had to get rid of the old smell.
Mhm.
I get it when you use smell.
Mhm,
Guys, everyone, hello.
So he's looking at her. She's looking at him. He decides to look at her clothes for the first time in his life, aside from the ugly sweater and the blue shirt. Those are the only two outfits he cares about, but he looks down. And he remembers seeing her clothes all over her room. And so he's like, this is like specifically chosen. This is a precious outfit. And
This?
she decided on oh,
It's really hard to talk about.
which outfit had she decided on? I remembered the ensemble at once, now that I thought about it. This sweater had been laid in the most prominent position, draped over her obsolete computer, with a white button-down underneath and blue jeans just to the side. Light tan, white collar, medium blue denim. I didn't have to look at myself to know the shades and styles were nearly identical.
Couple outfit. Iconic.
They're so in sync.
I can't. It's so good.
I really wish that in Twilight, Bella had been like, I'm gonna wear this sweater, but it might get really warm while I'm hiking, so I'm gonna wear this white sleeveless button down underneath because I think it'll give me nice airflow. But it's certainly the most revealing thing I'll have ever worn in front of him.
No sleeves.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, I just had a memory that I haven't thought about in like 20 years. When I was a senior in high school, it was yearbook day. It was the very last day of school. And I wore like just a tank top and shorts because June, it was hot. And this guy that I was like totally in love with, Stephen Landon, he like, I went up to him and I was like, hi, you want to sign my yearbook? And he goes, what happened to your sleeves? And I was so self-conscious after that.
Rude.
I
Don't ask someone
know.
about their sleeves.
Can you believe that? He was literally making a comment about how my shirt didn't have sleeves. Gross.
Gross. Thanks. Edward laughs about this outfit conundrum
You should.
and says good morning. And Bella's just like, what's wrong?
Everything.
She looks down at herself and she's like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just wearing clothes. And he's like, well, we match.
He needs to just be like, Bella,
Can you go
will you
change?
please go change? Please.
Will you just go put on
Just
the
different
green
shirt.
sweater?
Literally different shirt would
Yeah.
be fine.
I laughed again as she took this in, examining my clothes and then her own, with a surprised look on her face. Suddenly, the surprise shifted into a frown. Why?
Because she's like, oh no, this is embarrassing. But maybe she was like, it's okay, nobody's gonna ever see us.
Well, no, she's like, we're wearing the same outfit, but he looks so much cuter
Oh, yeah,
than
that's what
I
she's
do. I
really
look ugly
thinking.
in the Edward Cullen outfit.
Oh,
And Edward's like, was there some deeper reason she'd chosen these clothes? Some reason that made her angry when I laughed?
this is my favorite outfit. Don't laugh at it.
Oh my gosh. And then he remembers why he's wearing his sleeveless button down and how he can't back out of it now.
Nope.
He can't go change. He needs those sleeveless areas.
I can't. It's unbuttoned. I can't stop thinking about how it is still unbuttoned underneath his sweater.
Uh-huh.
Edward.
It is. So Edward's like, all right, well, it's time to get things going, I guess. And they head out to leave, and Bella's like, I get to drive. That was the deal. So she gets into the truck. He gets into the truck. He's nervous. The whole thing's going to fall apart immediately. And she asks him where to. She has to shout it at him, though, because her truck is so loud. And he's like, put your seatbelt on. And so she buckles herself in, asks where to go again, and he says, get on the 101 North. And so here she goes, 3 miles below the speed limit.
Just to be funny, I think.
And Edward remembers that Alice told him that it would be sunny by midday, so they need to get to the meadow by midday.
Oh, is it like 7 in the morning right now?
It's probably
gotta
like
be.
6:30.
Okay, yeah, it's gotta be.
Uh, so he's like, are we gonna get there before tonight or after tonight? And she's
Shut
like,
up.
stop it.
Honestly, stop.
She never looks away from the road for a second, fiercely concentrated. And he tells her to turn right. And she's like, all right. Oh, wait, that's left.
That's how I drive. Oh, we went too far. Shoot. I think my record for like fewest U-turns is like one.
Yeah, there's always one.
I'm always a U-turn.
Yep. And he just tells her to drive until the pavement ends. And she's like, okay, serial killer. What's where the pavement ends? And he's like, Georgia. A trail.
A trail. Okay, and this is like, okay, so Bella is like, and you know it in Twilight, she's like, what the crap, why is he taking me hiking? I was not prepared I can't hike. And she looks at him and she goes, we're hiking? And I 100% agree with Bella. I don't know why Edward didn't think about this. Like, she can't walk across the like flat tile floor at school. How is she supposed to go hiking?
Mm-hmm.
He could have warned her. She wouldn't have worn that outfit. No.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're dating Edward Cullen, all things are possible, though.
That's true. But here, listen to him. He goes, the concern in her tone worried me. And then he literally says, I hadn't considered. The distance was very short. No! WTF, Edward Cullen, 5 miles is not very short in any definition. Like, no. Maybe short if, like, you're driving a Porsche on a line. It's short, super short. But not for, like, hiking through the woods with Bella Swan. It's not short.
It would literally take me 12 hours.
Yes.
I'd have to take a break after, like, every 30 walks. Yes. And be like, all right, we're here for the next 15.
Uh-huh.
He's like, is there a problem? And she's like, nope.
Oh my gosh.
No problems. It's like, don't worry, it's only 5 miles or so. And then he's like, oh no, it's only 5 miles. We'll certainly get there in 20 minutes. Should have thought about this. Maybe we should go on a 15-mile hike.
Edward, she's a human.
He's looking at Bella. She's getting like a nervous forehead and the bite of the lip. And he's like, what are you thinking about?
I'll tell you, she's thinking, I hate hiking.
Why doesn't he just kill me earlier? It's going to make me hike before he kills me. This sucks. Worst murder attempt ever.
I know, that's so mean. Don't make somebody hike for 5 miles before you kill them.
No, literally.
I prefer a non-sweaty, non-scraped up, non-bruised murder.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Please. She tells him that she's just wondering where they're going. And he's like, well, I like to go here when the weather is nice. And then he starts thinking about his hideous skin again and how sparkly it's going to be. And Bella's like, well, Charlie said it was going to be warm today. And he's like, Charlie. Mm-hmm. God, remember Charlie. He's like, well, did you tell him what we're up to? And she's like, no. He's like, well, Jessica still thinks we're going to Seattle, right? And she's like, no.
Oh my gosh. Bella.
And he's like, no one knows you're alone with me. And she's like, no. I mean, I think you told Alice, right? Mm-hmm. Very helpful. And then he says to her, are you so depressed by Forks that it's made you suicidal? And she's like, no. You told me we shouldn't be so public about this. And he's like,
well, he's like,
Bella.
Okay, so I remember telling her that, but that's not, how could she have gotten it so backward. And I just want to explain and remind Edward Cullen that he's terrible at describing things. He's terrible at making his intentions clear. He's really bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
He's as muddy as can be with his intentions.
And he's like, okay, so you're worried about the trouble it might cause me if you don't come home. And she's like, yep. And then Edward's like, can't you tell that I am hideous? And Bella's just like, I mean, you're not, though. As usual, I wasn't truly angry with her, only myself. Maybe tell her that.
Oh my gosh, no, he just can't. He was like, telling her never worked. I would have to show her. Yeah, try that with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Try just everything. Show her, tell her, do whatever you can to let her understand what the freak you're trying to say, Edward.
She was always too kind. She gave me credit I didn't deserve, worried over my feelings as if they mattered. Her very goodness was what put her in danger. They get to the end of the road. Bella parks. She hops right out of the truck without, first of all, letting him help her out. And second of all, why is she in such a rush? She gets out. She takes her sweater off and ties it around her waist. And he looks at her button down and notices that it too left her arms bare to the shoulder. And Edward is about to have a moment right here. Looking at those arms.
Look at those arms.
I've never seen those before.
What happened to her sleeves?
I can see all the way up to her shoulder. However, he can't think about her shoulders because he needs to concentrate very hard today. And also, he doesn't really want to again. I mean, they could just not, right?
Yeah, he doesn't even want to go through with it. He's like, let's go back home.
First of all, I don't want to see her face when she looks at my arms. Second of all, I don't want to accidentally kill her. This is a crappy date. But he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes off his own sweater. I never uncovered so much of my skin around anyone but my family.
Oh no.
He leaves his sweater in the truck. Why did he even wear it in the first place?
Because his shirt is open. Do you think when he took it off, he did just one tiny button so that it wouldn't just flop open during their 5-mile hike?
Probably. I would hope so. Maybe he did a tie, like a belly shirt. He Britney Spears did.
Oh, baby, baby.
He knows that Bella's looking at him, but he can't look at her. So he starts to walk. He looks at where they need to go. And he's like, this way. He's freaking out. And she's like, what about the trail? And he's like, well, I said there was a trail, but not that we were taking it.
No.
She's like, no, trail.
And then he goes, I tried to sound like a normal person. At least he's trying.
He stands up straight, makes a big smile, turns back at her. You won't get lost.
Have you met Bella? Oh man, poor Edward.
And then he does this weird mouth turn and look at her. She's like, mouth open, double take, up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any sleeves and his shirt is open.
Belly shirt. This is Britney Spears, Edward Cullen.
And Bella. Oh, let's go.
Okay. I didn't know when it was a Britney Spears hike. Changes things. And Edward's just like, this is nothing. This is just my disgusting pale skin. She doesn't even know what it's going to do later.
I just can't believe this, like, this revelation that we've been given in Midnight Sun. Bella did not ever tell us that his shirt is just hanging open for the entire hike. Like, she's obviously freaked out about it. She didn't tell us.
She didn't.
Edward's the one who had to tell us.
Thank you, Edward.
Good grief.
And he describes his skin as bent in a slightly inhuman way over the angularity of my inhuman musculature. Bella doesn't notice your angles, sweetie.
No. He's like, if this was her response to no more than my skin in the shade, it's not your skin she's looking at. It's not.
She's thinking, okay.
I have the hottest boyfriend in the school.
Damn. He thinks that her being so agog and aghast is like, oh no, a bad sign. He's like, we can go. And she's like, no, we can't. Certainly no, thank you.
Not if we're going to do a 5-mile almost naked hike. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. She comes over to him very closely. He could just reach out and touch her. What does that mean?
Again, what does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does everything mean, Edward Cullen? It means she likes you. Stop being so dense.
Like, what's wrong? He tells her what's wrong. Because he notices that there's a slight pain in her eyes. And she's like, I'm not a good hiker. You'll have to be very patient. And he's like, that's nice of her to lie to me like that. Obviously, she was concerned about the lack of a conventional trail to follow, but that was hardly enough to create the grief in her expression. No, it's not entirely normal.
Also, could they just, like, finally just freaking talk already? Like, she could say, I don't like hiking. I'm really bad at it. It's something I suck at. It's not fun. And he could be like, oh, that's okay. I could, like, we could go do something else. Or I could carry you or something. No, they won't.
He's like, I can be patient. And she's like, thanks. He says, I'll take you home. She scowls at him. He doesn't know why. And she's like, if you want me to get through 5 miles of jungle, you better get started. And he's like, well, okay. He starts elbow lifting her through the woods.
That is a really sweet thing to do. Listen, I just don't think it's nice to make a clumsy girl do a 10-mile hike in her best outfit and then worry that she's mad. Like, it's dumb, you know? Mm-hmm. Of course she's going to be mad.
Edward feels a little more relaxed once they're in the forest. He holds all the branches out of her way. She has to look at every step she takes. She glares at some roots along the way. And then he's like, oh, she's worried about all the stuff she could trip over. Yes, she is.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yes.
Many things were easier in the forest than I expected them to be. Here we were, totally alone, no witnesses, and yet it didn't feel dangerous. Even when we come across a fallen log, I just elbow her over. And every time I do that, her heart beats a little faster, but I mean, honestly, mine would be too.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, I probably feel okay about this because this isn't where she dies. I've never seen me killing her here before, so that's reassuring. And now Edward once again wishes that he had a human brain instead of a vampire brain, because then he wouldn't have time to obsess over and over again about the same solutionless problem. And then he starts to make Bella talk while they're hiking. And he asks her what her favorite birthday was. And she glares at him, and he's like, "What? Is it not my day to ask questions?" And she's like, "You've literally had the whole week."
It's been like, this is like day 3 of him
Yeah.
asking questions.
She's like, "Well, it's fine. I don't know the answer, though. I'm not a big fan of birthdays." And he's like, "That's weird." She's like, "Well, it's a lot of pressure getting presents and stuff. What if you don't like them? You have to have your game face on so you don't hurt anyone's feelings. And also, people look at you a lot." And he's like, "Is your mom a bad gift giver?" And she's like, blink, blink, blink.
Well, it's so funny. He's like, her answering smile was cryptic. You did a good cryptic smile.
Thank you.
I could tell she would say nothing negative about her mother, though she'd obviously been scarred.
I'm scarred.
Oh, man. I think it's interesting. I did read something the other day, like it was a meme on a therapy page. Because instead of going to therapy, I just follow therapy pages.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And it was like people who don't like things like birthdays and holidays and stuff as adults are people who always had bad experiences with them as kids. And I was like, oh, poor Bella. Like she had bad birthdays, so now she's like, birthdays suck.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sad.
They offer another half mile, so another 45 minutes, and he hopes that she is going to talk more, but she doesn't. And he's like, "Who's your favorite elementary teacher?" And Bella knows, her second grade teacher, because they let her read whenever she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks him the same question, and he's like, "I don't remember school."
Also, in the early 1900s,
My mom, I guess.
yeah, well, I mean, he probably did go to a school, but it was like everybody from the whole town went to the same one room school, and the teacher just hit them with rulers all the time. So, no thanks.
Bella apologizes, and he's like, "It's fine." And they walk another quarter mile. And he thinks of a question that she'll certainly have to answer, which is dogs or cats. And she's like, "I don't know. I think cats, though. They're cuddly but independent, right?"
Yeah, Bella.
And he's like, "Well, have you ever had a dog?" And Bella says, "I've never had either. Mom says she's allergic."
All right, so question time from me now. Edward, scoot over a little bit. Here's my questions. Is Renee lying? Like, did she lie about being allergic, or did she just not want the responsibility of taking care of an animal? I mean, she definitely can't take care of a human or herself. So she's going to be like, "I'm allergic, Bella. Let's go to see this mining town." Gross. All right, Edward, go ahead.
It's like, "You don't believe her?" And Bella's like, "Well, she always pet everyone else's dogs."
I'm going to pull my eye out. I'm so upset.
And Edward's like, "I wonder why." And Bella's like, "Haha. Honestly, it took me forever to even get a fish. I finally figured out she was worried about being stuck at home. She loved to go off every weekend, and she didn't want to have something she had to stay home for. So then I found that they have time-released fish capsules, and we could leave the fish for over a week. And finally, she agreed. Renee just can't stand an anchor. She already had me, right? One huge life-altering anchor was enough. She wasn't going to volunteer for more."
Okay, hold on, wait. I'm just going to cross this out. I hate this shit. And I just wrote, "Good Lord, not okay. Renee with her perpetual vacation / distraction." I did a big frowny face. I'm so... Feels better.
Mhm.
Just crossed that out. You can't see. That light's too bright. Goodbye.
So Edward tries to keep a very straight face because he really wants to talk about how much Renee sucks, but Bella wouldn't like that. But he's like, "I'm pretty certain that Bella is correct on this, and that totally makes me feel very differently about everything else she's told me about her childhood, and that it's not so much that Renee can't do things that made Bella do things. I mean, that plays a part of it, but Bella felt like she had to earn the right to be a person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really disgusting.
Because it made me angry to think that Bella might ever have felt unwanted or that she needed to prove her worth. And Edward just wants to devote his entire life to making sure that Bella knows that she doesn't have to do anything to be good.
Yeah. I mean, Bella, like all human beings, needed love, but she settled for this insecure attachment that she had to Renee. Edward will help her through this. Like, I mean, now she's of course going to attach herself to Edward because he does make her feel loved. And it takes a long time. It takes all of New Moon and all of Eclipse for Bella to finally feel like he's never going to leave, actually. And because she had such an insecure attachment with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. I'm sorry to anybody else who has to feel that pain. That's why we all want our own Edward.
It's true. Yeah. She didn't notice me trying to control my reaction. With another laugh, she continued, "It was probably for the best that we never tried anything bigger than a goldfish. I wasn't very good at pet ownership. I overfed the first one, I cut back on the second one, and the third one just jumped out of the bowl. I guess that makes me a serial killer."
Cool.
I don't think Bella is a bad pet owner. I think that Bella had 48 other things that took precedence over feeding a fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been nice for Bella as a child to be able to learn how to take care of an animal, but she couldn't because she was taking care of a household.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong in every way. I think it's really cool. Like, of course, I think it's really cool that we have this book. But I love that Stephanie gave us this whole other layer of like seeing it through Edward's eyes. It completely validates all of the feelings that I already had about how bad of a mom Renee was. It's proven. And then we specifically asked Stephanie about it, and she was like, yeah, Renee sucks. Like, Renee's a terrible mom. You don't get to be the type of like insecure person that Bella is without such a terrible mom. And I love it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the relationship. I love that it's a really cool depth to Bella's character, and it helps us to understand why she is the way she is and why she freaks out when Edward leaves and all that stuff. So thank you, Stephanie.
What?
You.
Edward laughs at her, thinking she's a serial killer. She laughs too. And then the light starts to change. And so Edward gets anxious again because it's about to happen.
Oh no.
And he's like, the only thing I know to call this is stage fright? That's ridiculous. So what if Bella found me repulsive? If she rejected me in disgust? That was fine. That was better than fine. That was the smallest, tiniest sort of misery that could hurt me today. Oh my gosh. Edward hopes that when Bella runs away in disgust that she'll be able to get back to her truck all right. And then he's like, maybe we shouldn't have hiked 5 miles into the forest if she's going to run away from me screaming.
Literally, his forethought about this was zero. I can't.
He's like, I'll just get her to the road and then she can recklessly drive away.
Cool.
That'll work. Though my whole frame felt like it might crumple with the pain of that image, there was something much worse. The looming test Alice had seen. Failing that test, I couldn't imagine. How would I live through that? How would I find a way to stop living? We were so close. And they keep walking. Bella notices that it's getting brighter, and she's like, are we there yet? And he says, nearly. Can you see the brightness up ahead? And she's like, no. He's like, I forgot you don't have 28 times the sight that I do. What?
That she does, that
you
should have.
And he's like, maybe it's too soon. And she's like, I guess I gotta go get my ass checked. And then they stop talking, and as they walk, he notices when she notices the meadow, because she smiles and she starts walk running. Her eagerness only made me. Oh, her eagerness only made my reluctance heavier. He just wants another hour or two. But I knew there was no point in delay, and avoidance would never make it easier. And so Bella just walks herself into the meadow, and he wishes that he could see her face because he knows how cute his meadow is right now with all his wildflowers,
He did work very hard on it.
all his birds. Of course, his birds leave when he gets close, but that's fine. And so Bella slowly walks into the golden light, and she's touching all of the flowers. And Edward's like, she is Persephone in the springtime.
I just think this is such a pretty vision. Like to imagine Bella just like, she loves the sun. So she's like, she walks into the sunlight and kind of puts her face up and like just brushes her hands against the flowers, and she's walking and he's watching her. And I would love to see this like played out somewhere. Somebody make this video. Somebody go to a meadow, please. I want this.
She turns and looks back at him, expecting him to follow her. And when she doesn't, she starts to walk back towards Edward, lifting an arm. I wanted to be human so badly in that moment that it nearly crippled me.
Oh,
But I was not human, and the time had come for perfect discipline. I held my palm up, a warning. She understood but was not afraid. Her arm dropped, and she stayed where she was, waiting, curious. Edward gets in a big bellow breath, and he's like, how is there any more to this story? It ends now. I'm gonna kill her. Bella would see me and she'd throw up and not want to see me ever again.
oh.
I felt as though I would never do anything more difficult than this, but I forced my foot to lift and shifted my weight forward. I would face this head on. With all that, I couldn't bear the first reaction on her face. She would be kind, but it would be impossible for her to disguise that initial instant shock and revulsion. So I would give her a moment to compose herself. I closed my eyes as I stepped into the sunlight.
Oh, Edward, honey, he is so wrong about every single thing. He's so cute. He's so sweet. He has no idea what he's talking about. Okay, I know we're never going to get it, but how much do you want the honeymoon through Edward's point of view? Him going, I felt as though I would never do anything more difficult than this.
Every day he wakes up. This is the hardest day.
But I forced my... And here he says, I forced my foot to lift and shifted my weight forward, but all I could think was really dirty stuff about him forcing himself to have sex with Bella. Poor guy.
Poor Edward.
Like, I thought my time in the meadow was going to be the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Nope. I didn't realize I'd have to have sex with the human Bella. Really, really good.
End of chapter, you guys. That's where it's cliffhangerly leaves us with Edward eyes closed, walking into the sun.
In, shirt open, arms out. So adorable.
Oh my gosh.
She is going to hate this. Oh, I love him.
This is so relatable though. It's like, I'm going to show someone like a part of me or like say something that they've never heard or assumed or seen about me before. And I don't want to know their reaction. So I'm just going to close my eyes.
That is relatable. No, you're totally right. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yep, I love it. And I love you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out today.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your support and listenership and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a remember. Anybody have a good remember? Anybody?
Choose I remember.
And remember, and then you guys type it in, and then we'll say it.
Do our work for us.
Right. Oh, man.
It's a Brittany hike, bitch. Oh my gosh. And remember, rip your sleeves off and don't button up your undershirts.
Or else I button your fucking shirt.
Should we credit them?
I don't know. It's pretty good. I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
Thank you for joining us. We love you so much. Have a great week. And remember, don't take your human girlfriend on a hike in her best outfit.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thump.
We serve you. My ears.
Oh, my ears.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Okay.
Gotta drink some coffee. It's very creamy today. I put the last of my eggnog in it. Very yummy. Okay, cool. Thanks for coming. We're gonna do a bonus-ode. You'll see it next week on the Patreon. And then we're gonna come back and do chapter 17. So, Emily, did you have to say anything else to these guys right now? Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Bye.
Hold on, let me see if there's anything else. Imagine Eddie in high school in the 1910s with his green eyes making the girls swoon. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Title of Britney Spears hike. All right. You guys are troopers. I love you. We'll be back in a little while with chapter 17. Love you. Bye.